Welcome back to my channel. Let's move to our next lesson. That is major domains of the landform. Major landforms of the Earth. Major landforms of the Earth. So when we are discussing about the major landforms of the Earth, so the Earth on which we are living is not the same everywhere. Its surface is not same everywhere. The Earth's surface is not same everywhere. It is changing from place to place. It's changing from place to place. So the Earth has infinitely variety of landforms. It has various landforms at different places that are located in the world. It has many features according to the different landforms that exist in the at different places, in the different locations of the world. So these different landforms leads to different typical places that exist for many features in the whole surroundings and places that exist, right? So the Earth's surface is not constant; it is varying always. And one amazing thing here we have to note is that you will be really amazed when I say this point. The ground on which we are standing is always, position of movement. That means it is slowly moving always. It is slowly moving. That means slowly moving means or always the internal movement in Earth. Internally, always there leads to a slow movement. That is, a continuous movement takes place in the Earth internally always. A continuous movement of Earth. A continuous movement of Earth takes place internally. So it is happening at every second. The Earth is taking its place. Continuous movement is happening in the internal side of the Earth, right? So when we are talking about the landforms, there are really many landforms that exist, right? But how we can classify and how we can the landforms are mainly classified on the basis of the two processes that exist. Two processes we are discussing the landforms. So the first one is the first process, or it is also known as the internal process. What it is called means upliftment and sinking of the Earth's surface is known as the internal or first process of the landforms that exists on the Earth, right? So what this process it describes means they leads to the lowering of the Earth's surface happens here. Lowering of the Earth's surface happens here. That means the process is known as the upliftment and sinking of the Earth's surface. Upliftment and sinking of the Earth's surface. The upliftment and sinking of the Earth's surface is known as our internal process. That means what happens means there is a process known as erosion. Due to this, all the bearing of the Earth's surface, it takes away the bearing of the Earth's surface from it. That means the sum of the part of the Earth that exists gets decreases and lowers in its amount, so that it is known as the upliftment and sinking of the Earth's surface. This is the first process, and the second process is known as the second or external process. So this process is known as the second process, or known as external process or external. So what happens in this process means so when we are talking about this so previously in the case of first or internal process, the sum of the land and the existence on the Earth, what happens means so due to the over period of time, due to the reactions that are happening on the internal side of the Earth, some of the portion of the Earth of the landforms that are lowering by the and wearing out away from some of the bodies. That means the Earth portion, due to the wearing away from the Earth's surface, the earth portion of it getting lowering the surface. That means it is known as the upliftment and sinking of the earth surface, as I said earlier. Now in this second process or external process, what happening here means again there is a, so to rebuild that the earth surface what has been removed away from it, it is known as rebuilding process, rebuilding of the earth surface, rebuilding of the earth surface. That means the process of rebuilding of the earth surface what we have done is known as the deposition. Very important thing guys, it is known as the deposition. It is known as the deposition, right? So whenever we are talking about these two processes, the two things we have to remember, is that these processes are mainly going on the basis of the three terms. Always the internal or external process, always it happens basing on the three terms, that is along with these only the three terms, these two process what I said been happening, right? Basing upon the wind, water, and the third one is ice. So these are the main three factors. So due to this, the two process, internal and external, that takes place. Internal and external that takes place. So this is the basic thing we have to know before we move to the, we are differentiating the different types of landforms. As I said earlier, in Earth there are many different variety, infinite variety of landforms that exist. We cannot say it in number, so that we can classify and basing on these different landforms at different places, mainly by basing on its significances and essentials, that are we are classifying it as broadly of considering different landforms. We are classifying it as by basing on different features as mountains. The second one is plateaus, and the third one is plains. So these are the main three categorizations of the different landforms that exist in the world, right? So in this again mountains, plateaus and plains. So before, so that we will discuss this about one by one in different classes. So first of all, we have to know the meaning of the hill. So what is the hill? So the term hill, when we are talking about, it is nothing but a land surface of the earth, which is somewhat at a higher part. That means which is somewhat above the ground. That is known as the hill. Basically, according to the research and the scientists has given a certain limitation for that to consider as a mountain. That means that is a steep hill which has a height greater than 600 meters. Its height should be greater than 600 meters. Can consider as a mountain. Considered as a mountain. So the largest, can we say the largest mountain that exists is Mount Everest? With a height of 8,848 kilometers. 8,848 meters. This is the largest mountain that exists in our world, right? Let's go into our GK part as usually. We'll continue one by one mountains, plateaus in our next class, right? So now let's move into our lakes today concept. So when we are talking about the lakes, guys, we have to know first of all what is the definition of the lake. Then only we can understand what is it, how we can define a certain thing. It may be a sea. How can we say it is a lake, right? So lake. So when I talking about the lake, the definition of the lake is that it is a huge amount or a large amount of water bodies. Large amount of water bodies that should be surrounded by land mass. Very important point, guys. That's why I written fully. So without knowing this definition, so many people are suffering to find out the difference between the sea and lakes, right? So huge or large amount of water body. It should be a water body definitely, but it is fully surrounded. It is fully surrounded by the land mass. That means it has no connection to the other sea or any other places surrounding it. It should be fully surrounded by the land mass. So that is the important point we have to note here, right? So today the largest lake in the world is Caspian Sea. So when I said this, you got some doubt. You said we are talking about the concept lakes. Then you said sea. Why? Right. You can do that. That's why I written definition. So everything what I am saying in this very important, guys, and what I did, definitely who are understanding will gain good knowledge. Right. Caspian Sea. So when you are talking this huge or large amount of water bodies that should be surrounded by the land mass. In lakes again, there should be again small lakes, and there are some of the lakes with the enormous amount that should be with the lake with the enormous amount of high. There should be lake. It is also called as a lake. Then means that suppose the sea also should be called as a lake. Then means it is should be have a supposed amount of land, supposed amount of huge amount of mass that should be considered a huge amount of enormous amount to be sufficient to be called as a lake. That means a sea should be of enormous amount should be considered as a lake. That means a lake should be small or it can be big. Suppose for a sea it should be considered as a lake, means it should be have enormous amount to satisfy its conditions to be considered as a lake. But here when you are talking about this, so Caspian Sea, I said it is a lake, the largest, the big lake that present in the world. It has an area of 371,000 square kilometers, right? And it has inflowing countries is, that means inflowing rivers, or we can say it is the inflowing rivers are Tera and Kura and some of the rivers, etc. Right? So these are the main the inflowing and outflowing also with there. So what I said, it should be surrounded by the land surface. That means it should not have any outer surface. Totally surrounded by the land mass. Then only we can call this that water body as a lake. Then you have got one doubt. So okay, why you say that a Black Sea? Then we can say Black Sea also lake. But why we are not considering the Black Sea as lake? Means the Black Sea is not a lake, guys, because it has it's a sea connecting to the third parties. That means other seas and rivers externally, so that we cannot consider as a lake. So one thing we have to note here, guys, nothing but a huge amount of large amount of water bodies that should be surrounded by the land mass. Then only it can be considered as a lake. It may be of small lakes or the enormous. Suppose sea also we can consider as a lake when it has an enormous amount to be, the condition should be satisfied as a lake. That's it for today. You can share, like and subscribe my channel for more information. Meet you in the next video. Please encourage your friends, those who are interested in this area, so that they will also definitely be benefited. It's truly Teja signing off. Bye.